G'day guys, today we're in Elliott Bay Marina to show you guys the 2019 Beneteau Swift Trawler 35 chairs. She's a pretty amazing boat because she's the only one that Beneteau brought over, which is a true Northwest edition. And we'll show you guys through why in a bit. We're going to start off with the specs, starting off with the length overall. She's 37 feet. She's got a beam of 13 foot 3 inches. Her draft is 3 foot 10 inches. Air draft is 18 foot 1 inch. Her dry weight is 18,187 pounds. Fuel is 211 gallons. She's got twin 40-gallon water tanks, and she has space in her 2 cabins with an additional fold-out berth in the salon, which we'll show you guys in a bit, for 6 people, which is pretty immense for a boat this size, and very, very comfortable accommodations as well. And powered by a single Cummins 6.7 liter 425 horse diesel engine, and with only 570 hours. With all that said and done, let's get stuck into the tour, and we'll start up here on the flybridge. Moving forward here, we've got a beautiful helm station with all the kit nice and close by. Steering wheel, Raymarine hybrid touch display. We've got our autopilot over here. Our anchor control, so you can control your anchor from up here as well. Bow and stern thruster, electronic gear control, Lenco trim tabs, and even the stereo. Really, really nice layout here. And you can see as we're perched up here, you have a great field of view. Almost feels like you're driving a big ship. It definitely does not feel like a 35-foot boat from this angle here. And she is a Class B offshore rated boat, so you kind of it gives a really strong, beefy kind of feel to it. You can see, we're going into winter right now, so you can see we don't have our cushions out, but we'll show you the material down below. We've got a couple of the settees down there, which is in the same material, but this beautiful U-shaped settee gives you a really large seating area. You can comfortably sit about 6 people. To get around, they even have a fold-down teak table, solid teak. It's really, really nice. This boat also has the Dometic drink fridge up here to make it easier, so you don't need to go down below to get your drinks. One thing to mention above, we've got this bimini top, and this boat comes with 2 options. There's a folding bimini top. This one I love because it's a more rigid structure, and it even has lighting embedded into it as well. Up here on the flybridge aft, we've got 2 director's chairs. They're super comfortable, and it's great to have for that extra entertaining capability. We've also got this really nice high railing, and there are little eyelets at the bottom, so there's a canvas dodger that goes all the way around here. If you've got pets or kids that are running around, this actually all encloses to make it really safe. Up top, we've got a Starlink for high-speed internet, Magma Grill, which I love. I'd be hanging out there all day. And on the starboard side here, we also have the paddleboard holder as well. I love how they've got the hatch back here. It's really secure and strong. You can stand on it. Same thing, good for safety and all that good stuff there as well. Just outboard of that, there is also a space to have where it says BIB down here. There are little eye lashings there, so it's a space to have your life raft if needed as well. Let's head on down to the aft deck. Down here on the aft deck, there are lots of cool things, one of which is this ladder up here. Obviously, easy access to the flybridge. We've also got the cover, which we mentioned, so if it's raining, that sort of thing, you get a lot of good protection back here. If you're entertaining back here, this ladder actually easily folds into the bulkhead just to give you a whole bunch of extra entertaining space. Speaking of which, these access doors, really cool. These pop all the way open on either side, and then you've got these molded in chairs. So you can have the dining table, come back here, make it great for entertaining. And those 2 chairs that we saw up on the flybridge can come down as well, so you can comfortably entertain back here for 4 people. As we go through, we've also got some cup holders either side on port and starboard. There is a hot and cold shower back here. as well. I love the cleats. They're, you know, really nice aluminum. Um, yeah, quite strong, and they've got lots of cleats throughout the boat, so there's plenty of ways to make it easy to tie up the boat as well. Uh, as we go over here as well, we've also got another nice little seat on the port side. We've got the water fill here. We've got the manual bilge pump. Just forward of which you can see we've got a placard here, which is the CE rating, which I mentioned earlier. Class B offshore rated for 8 passengers, inland for 11. So it's tried and tested in some serious seas, which is really great. Over here on the port side, you can see we've got the Magma kayak racks here as well. You'll see it's a little tighter on the port side, which is because of the asymmetric design of this boat. And you'll see on the starboard side as we go through, a lot wider, a bit easier to get around, but still gives you good access on the port side as well, which is nice. Just above here, we have the isinglass enclosure for the aft deck. Great in all weathers. With winter cruising, it just folds straight down, and you can open this salon door, and it kind of extends your salon, which is really nice. One thing unique about this enclosure back here is it's kind of flush mounted with the deck head. So with this cover here, when you're using it, it drops down a little bit. You can easily roll it up and down. And when it's away for summer cruising or over winter, if you're not using the boat, to have that flush mount is really nice. And we'll cut to that now and show you guys what that looks like. Now that we've put away the beautiful entertaining space back here, the table and chairs, you can see how it all just folds up nice and neat. It gives us access to our beautiful Achilles tender. This tender is a 2024, so it's near new. We've got a Tahatsu outboard. It's a 20 horsepower outboard there. I love it how it's on the manual C-wise davit, so you just crank it up and it folds up vertical. And the good thing about that is it reduces your length overall. So some of these tenders that hang off the back, then you need a bigger slip for your boat. So this way you can still get it into a nice small slip. And the tender engine here, it actually self-mounts. So as you drop it down, you can see it's on like a pivoting thing, and it mounts onto the boat. Really, really cool setup. I love Seaways for that reason. And it is a console tender as well. So yeah, really, really good setup. As we move forward, you can see there are 2 little holes here. There for a swim ladder. So the swim ladder, that really solid teak swim ladder in stainless steel that clips in there. So you're an anchor. You can easily get in and out of the boat. There is also an emergency swim ladder if you don't have that in. So you've got a couple of options there. Moving forward again, there's a little cap there. And what that is because of the Class B offshore rating, the boat has an emergency steering system. So there's a large tiller that pops in there. That cap comes off. And if you lose steering, and then the backup steering being the autopilot also gets lost, then you have like a third redundancy, which is really important when you're at sea. So let's jump on into the salon area. One thing I love before we jump in is this glass enclosed door, nice and secure, and keeps you nice and toasty inside if you do have the diesel heater on. So let's just open her up here. You can see these doors open really, really wide, and it just brings the indoor and outdoor space together. Really incredible. Makes it feel a lot larger than it is. Quite cool. One other thing here as well, we've got these fly screens, which is a really important thing. If you're at the islands on anchor, something like that, you do get a lot of bugs. So that's quite important. Small step that gets you into the salon here. We've got a Bessonzoni table. And this has an expandable leaf. So you can easily just open it up and pop this little leaf out just like this. It gives you a bit more dining space when you're eating as well. I love the ultra leather settee here. Very, very comfortable. One thing as well, once you've got this table and chairs out, this settee actually folds out into a very comfortable double berth with a proper mattress. We'll cut to that now and you guys can check that out. Just going to show you guys how this opens now. There's a little pull here, easily opens up just like this, and you get this beautiful large mattress. It's a proper mattress, not just a cushion or anything like that. So very comfortable place to stay. One other thing as well, when the mattress is out, to get privacy, you've got a curtain that goes all the way around on either side. So you've got privacy and blackout shades throughout for a good night's sleep. Let's pack her up, nice and easy, just like that. And we're back. Cool. And then moving over to the port side here, we've got the Vizio TV just above. We've got our breaker panels, and you can see very vigilant seller. They've printed out a page from the manual to make it easy. So when you're looking at all the breakers, you're not like, oh, what does that mean? What does this do? It gets very confusing. And not only did they print this out, but they also numbered all this as well, just so it's very easy. If you've got something going on and you need to access something immediately, it's quick and easy. You can just point to the number, and then you can know exactly what you're dealing with and how to fix it. So it's quite nice. So all your breakers here. Over here, we've got the GFCI breaker, shore power, transfer switch, and your inverter. Over here, you can see it says Cummins owner generator, and there is also a transfer switch for the generator. But being the Northwest Edition, this doesn't have a generator because you don't need it. It's just provision for one. So if the boat were to end up in Florida or California and you really had to have heating and air conditioning and had to have some other stuff, you could always, it's already pre-plumbed and provisioned, so it's very easy to add it later if you want. But just underneath, you'll see we do have the Master Volt inverter. So that's pretty important. So it gives you power to all the plugs and everything else when you're underway. And you can charge your phone and do everything else you need to do. Just below here, we've got really good storage space here. And just forward, for longer trips, we have a DC freezer drawer as well. From the factory, it comes with like an AC ice maker or something like that. So this is upgraded so you can just run on the batteries, unlike the original one from the factory, which is quite nice. We've got a Fusion stereo down here as well. And then the Webasto diesel heater control up top, which is definitely working really well today. Moving forward, we've got this galley space. Quite a nice galley, U-shape, up on deck. You get a good field of view all around with all these large windows. Really good amount of countertop space. There's actually additional countertop space here. And then when you're underway or want to hang out, it just gives you a little cushion here so you get extra seat when you are underway forward facing. Just here, we've got the Eno 2-burner propane top. We've got the gas shut up close by. They make it easy for that. Good storage throughout, even in here. And dual stainless steel sink here as well. Just underneath, we've got an additional Eno propane oven as well. And this was one of the few boats to have this. So most of them come with a microwave oven or a convection oven. This one has the proper propane oven, which is really nice. To add to the galley here as well, we've got another refrigerator and freezer up top. It's just a Vitrafrigo. And on the other side, I love this. You'll see, I'm going to open this really slowly. Jeff, you can come and see it. But the rubbish bin you can see is closed, so no smells through the boat. And as I open the door, it just opens up like that. So it's kind of neat the way they do that. It keeps the boat from smelling out. Nice little feature there as well. Pop these back on the lounge here. Moving over to the starboard side here, we've got this helm station, comfortable ultra leather chair, dual chair here, so you can seat a couple of people up here as well. And we've got the Raymarine Axiom hybrid touch display. One thing I love is not many manufacturers do this. We've got a very basic thing, a rudder angle indicator, its own separate one. I know all the autopilots have it. You can see the autopilot on here has it as well. But just to have it as a separate thing, sometimes the autopilot's off. This is always on. It's a good quick reference to know exactly where your rudder is. So that's quite nice. And with this Axiom system, with the hybrid touch system, you've got your radar, depth sounder, all the good stuff. So it also upgraded to a AIS transceiver on this boat as well. So it's quite nice. And then here we've also got our quick bow and stern thruster controls, Lenco trim tab controls, and then the Cummins zone and electronic gear control. Cool. Just down below, a Raymarine VHF here as well. And off to the side, we've got our fly screen there, nice and easy, and big access door here that takes us onto the main deck. And I love this when you're docking. I've got my hand on the bow and stern thrusters, hand on the electronic gear control, and then you've got this side door. And we'll show you guys that later when we get back to the dock, how easy it is to single-hand this boat. It's incredible, really, because of that side door and the easy access makes a huge difference. Now we're underway. I just want to show you guys a couple of really neat features here with the helm station. You've got this large ship's wheel. You can see where my feet are resting on a stand there. This stand actually drops down, so just like this. So if you want to stand up, you can do that, or just a bit of extra footstool, you can do that. So they make it really comfortable for when you are driving the boat, which is neat. The bolster on this seat also comes up, just gives you more room in here as well. Pop this back in. Cool. So yeah, it's quite neat. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. I'll show you guys what she handles like at cruise speed, at max speed, and we can go from there. So right now, I'm going to be quiet for a minute, and you'll see we're doing 6 knots, and it's about 70 decibels you're going to do. If I bring it back just a tad, I'm going to bring it back to 5 knots. And at 5 knots, she's got the trawler style of her. She's doing just over 5 nautical miles per gallon, and that gives you a range of about 1,000 nautical miles, which is incredible. So that's about where we're at now. And it's just tapping under 70 decibels, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's hit up cruise speed. Cruise speed's about 13 to 15 knots. So let's pick up the pace there and check that out. We've got some trim tabs here as well. And tab down a little bit. Get her up on the plane. So here we're at 14.2 knots. Got a range of about 170 nautical miles at this speed, which is about 0.9 nautical miles per gallon. Very, very efficient cruise speed up here. We're on the plane, handles really well. We get some wake and it just pops straight over. Decibel just gives it just under 80 decibels here, which is pretty neat. I'm going to do a nice turn to port here. You can see how she turns. I don't know whether you can get the bow, but the bow just stays so flat when you're turning. It's really, really cool. But watch out, a lot of debris in the water today. I'm always got a smile on my face when I'm driving this boat. It's a really fun boat to drive. Here we go. Yeah, nice big turn to port there. And now that we turn to port, I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's hit up max speed. So yeah, I just went over our wake, a little bit of chop. So we've got just over 3,000 RPMs here, max speed, 98% load, and we're at 16.8 knots. Just over 80 decibels on that as well. kind of right around, I'm talking, so it makes it a little louder, but it's right around the 80 mark in here when you're flat out, which is pretty cool. And what's funny is about with the boat, because of the hull. I mean, Beneteau have been doing this a long time. You know, they got a lot of sailboats. Their R&D department's crazy. You know, biggest builder of trawlers in the world and boats in the world. And just the hull design's incredible. I mean, once you're on the plane, there really isn't much difference. So, you know, your range isn't far off that 170 mark from you know, basically 10 knots to flat out. So if you do need to get out of weather or something like that, you've got, you don't need to worry about putting the hammer down, because you're not really going to be chewing up too much more gas doing that, or diesel rather. Cool. Anything else?
How about next up, when we tie up, we'll go through the staterooms or something like that, give you a transition to our next scene.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm going to wind it back. Let's pull her into the slip, and I'll show you guys how to dock this thing and why I love docking this boat so much. All right, so we're just pulling into the slip here. I love the asymmetric design here because I'm undercover right now. If it's raining, I'm all protected. Don't need to worry about getting wet or anything like that. I head back aft here, get my other fender out. Lovely. All my lines are set and ready. Cool, looking good. All right, and I'm gonna get our side door here open and ready. And we can slowly work our way into the dock here. I'm just in and out of gear, nice and easy. The bow and stern thruster, it doesn't get much better than this. And you can see as I'm pulling up here as well, I can poke my head out here. I can see my stern, I can see my bow. I'm a little misaligned here, so I can just adjust accordingly. I'm looking sharp now. See, I've still got my hand on the controls as well. Even though my head's like all the way out here, I can see everything. Super easy. Slow and steady wins the race. So I'm just slowly gliding in here. I could step up the dot right now. I'm just going to wait till we get the second fender in, and then we'll be set to go. Might give it a little nudge forward here. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. And right now we're like almost level with the dock. You know, some boats you have to, you know, a sailboat or something like that, you need to jump off the gunnel and you're going to break a leg doing it. With this super easy transition here. What I normally do if I'm single-handing, it's a pretty easy day today. So if it was kicking up a little bit, I'd have a line on here and I can tie off my midship first if I'm by myself. But it's an easy day today. So got my stern line on. Done. And grab the bow line. And we're all set. Nice and easy. Springs. Perfect, look at that. Done. Easy. So we're back at the dock, we're all tied up. I'm down here on the swim platform, we've got the shore power cord here. You'll notice we've got a 50 amp, 125, 250 shore power plug at the end. on a 30 amp cord. Reason for that is with everything running on the boat, it only really calls for 30 amps because we do have the Northwest edition here, which is pretty nice. So basically what this does, it just saves us an extra adapter. So I actually quite like it. They've done quite a good job thinking about that. Just back here is where we plug in. Nice and easy. Tighten that up. We're all good to go. Let's jump on inside. So we're just down a couple of steps from the helm station. We're going to jump into the first guest cabin here. You can see we've got a bunk berth and there are new mattresses there. They look really nice. Also have good amount of storage here. We've got a couple of storage hatches underneath the bottom bed. There's also a storage cabin forward here and one aft, and then there's even a like a part storage area as well at the foot of the lower berth, which is quite cool, and a little nightstand for either berth. One thing to note, and you'll notice this throughout the interior, especially in here as well, each area, so each cabin has at least, including the head there, has at least 2 portholes, so it gives you really good ventilation, good light as well, which is really cool. Okay, as we head forward, we've got the master stateroom here. Nice and easy to get either side of the berth here, which is pretty rare in a boat this size. I love the custom bedding they have here. There's also an additional custom topper, so it's nice and soft and conforming when you're sleeping. A few good features, lots of good storage right here. So underneath the berth, we've got a gas strut. This easily lifts up, and this is a 2-tier system. There's also additional storage underneath the forward part of the berth as well. To starboard, we have some shelving just here. And to port, we have a hanging closet. Just above is a Fusion stereo controller. Speaking of electronics, we've got the Fusion speakers forward there. And we've got the dual USB charger, 110 outlet, and just a little shelf here to have your electronics or TV remotes or what have you. And I love the reading light. You can easily turn them off, on and off locally there as well. Just after massive portholes, brings in a lot of natural light into this cabin. And you've also got your blackout shade here as well. Blackout shade on the other side, and then up here we've got a fly screen that just slots away, and a blackout shade here as well, and opening emergency escape there too, which is pretty cool. On the aft bulkhead, Vizio TV here as well, just next to the bifolding doors to get into the cabin. So pretty cool setup. Just behind you there, Jeff, you'll see on the deck there, the Webasto diesel heater outlet, and it is just cranking heat today. So it's nice and toasty. It's almost like a sauna in here. Very cool. So just coming aft to starboard, we'll come around and jump on in the head here. So poking in the head, there are a few nice little things they got going on here. We've got some towel racks that just pop out. We've got good storage right here and additional storage up top. As I mentioned earlier, we've got the dual portholes here as well. There's even waterproof blackout shades on them, so it's kind of a different material in the more humid environment. They're not going to get damaged. Toilet roll holder, so it's all stowed away, not flapping around when you're underway. And I call this head kind of a semi-wet head because you've got your perspex glass that kind of closes up like that, so it's all contained. And then also a teak top here, so that just folds down, and so when it's not getting the head wet at all as well when you're showering. It's a pretty cool setup. And there is a freshwater and saltwater flush on the head as well, which is pretty neat. Just before we head up to the engine room, I just want to show you guys a couple little things here. Firstly, we've got the carpet here. That just snaps in and out, nice and easy. I do like that. So, and you've also got some storage here. Just above, we've got the battery switches. So, house battery there, windlass breaker, engine battery, and this is the battery parallel. Here are the emergency fuel stops and um, the fire system pull as well, and just an additional breaker there too. Nice and easy. Let's head on up to the engine room. So we're back up here in the salon, and if you look underfoot, we've got a large hatch here. As soon as you open the hatch, you'll notice on the hatch itself is a very thick insulation layer, which is great, and that's why we're getting those lower decibel ranges when we're underway. I love the way that Beneteau do that. As we point down, you'll see the big Cummins QSB 6.7 425 horse engine. It's you can see straight cylinder configuration, which is more reliable. You'll also notice where I'm standing here, which is close to the helm, we've got the oil dipstick. They do that there just so it's super easy to do your daily checks. You can just pull the dipstick out without even getting in the engine room. Same for the sea strainer. When I'm standing up, I can look at the clear cap at the top of the sea strainer and very easily know if we've got a blockage or I need to clear that out or anything else like that. And either side of the sea strainer, you'll see clear hoses, which I don't really see too much on other boats, but I do like it because if there's any blockages or anything like that, you can see you've got water flow straight away from here without needing to even look overboard to see what's pumping out. So that's a pretty cool deal. Another thing, as we go down, you've got the dripless shaft seal. Great feature. Keeps the bilge dry, which is super nice. And as we move over to the starboard side of the engine room, we've got a Master Volt 12700 inverter, as well as a charger down there as well. So really good setup. It gives you lots of room to get around, and you can see that the cellar is kept in really nice shape as well. Even the air filter is super clean. So let's get this closed up and we'll head down to the lazarette. So we're back here on the aft deck and we've got this big lazarette hatch. Let's go pop her open. Two really big struts there, holds up the hatch nice and easy. We've even got a ladder to get you down there as well. Fortunately, I got long enough in the legs I can stretch to get in. This little handle, this is for the manual bilge pump, which I showed you guys earlier. And then this big handle is the emergency tiller, which we talked about earlier as well. You can see that there's just a tremendous amount of space down here for a boat of this size. We've got battery storage here. We've got the chairs that are up on the flybridge. They easily store in here. And one other thing as well, we've also got brand new shades for the forward windows as well. So on a hot summer's day, you can put the shades up and it cools down the boat substantially, which is really nice. So yeah, really good space. So now you guys can see that we've got the isinglass enclosure down, which is really cool. You can see there's a little gap here for the aft door to make it easy to get in and out. This just rolls straight up, and all the panels roll up just like this when you're using it. You saw before, when you're not using it, you push them all the way in, and then it's in kind of storage mode. So we'll just pull this down here. There's a little clip on the back, two zippers, nice and easy. We're all enclosed. Diesel heat is going. This whole area now just becomes an extension of the salon, which is nice and easy. When this is all closed, to get in and out, to make it easy rather than unzipping all this, around this starboard side here, I'll show you we've got this opening door. Perfect. So as we're walking down the side deck here, you'll see we've got the covered overhead, which is really nice. Really high bulwarks all the way around. They've even extended it here as we approach the stairwell. Speaking of stairs, there is a diesel fill and a waste fill just underneath these steps with a little scupper drain to keep it all protected from the weather, which is nice. And jumping up here on the bow, we've got a great space down here for lounging and all that good stuff. And just forward, we've got the Lumar windlass. It's the V2, V3, and in here we've got the anchor locker, the chain locker rather. It's got about 200 foot of chain and about 100 foot of road there as well. Thanks for coming on the tour of this 2019 Beneteau Swift Trawler 35 Cheers here at Elliott Bay Marina. For more information or for an in-person tour, feel free to reach out to me, Ari Sher, anytime. Also, for pricing, feel free to click the link below in the description. See you on the water.